Rope Drop Radio is proudly brought to you by Touring and Cruises Travel Agency. Planning your next magical Disney adventure or an exciting trip around the world? Their expert team is ready to help you every step of the way at no additional cost. They'll even monitor for discounts after you book and apply any you qualify for automatically. Just mention Rope Drop Radio when booking. Now, let's rope drop.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. I am Doug McKnight here with Lauren Shields. And today, Lauren, we have an exciting show, don't we?
We do. We are going to play a game today about Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom and its attractions.
Yes. Doug is making me play a game for the first time ever where we have to pick one ride that we would definitely do and one we would not pick. And he made some groups of rides to pick from.
Yes.
Should be fun.
Forcing you to pick your favorite child at moments, right? That sort of thing.
Actually, I didn't have that problem.
No.
Did you have that problem?
Not really. No, I didn't make it that hard. I'm trying to be nice, Lauren. I'm still in that phase where I'm trying to be nice.
How long does that last?
Probably another week.
Oh, man. Running out of time.
Yeah, running out of time. So that's coming up. But before we get to that, I want to remind everybody we'll be at Disney World April 3rd through the 6th for the Springtime Surprise, where I will be attempting a 10-miler. Lauren will be running a 10-miler. I will be attempting a 10-miler, but some meetups are coming. So Thursday, the 3rd, there's probably going to be a meetup that evening at Hollywood Studios. And I know lots of people are going to bed early because of the runs. Friday afternoon, the Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios for Saturday, and then Epcot on Sunday. Hopefully everybody can get together in the afternoon at Epcot with all our bling on, and we can get an awesome group picture in front of Spaceship Earth. And if you didn't earn any bling, you can still be in the picture. It's okay. You just have to smile really big, right?
Totally. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully we will see some Patreons there. And speaking of Patreons, we have one new one this week. So Doug will not have tears.
Nope.
I wanted to say thank you, Amanda, for becoming a Patreon this week. Welcome to the community. I also just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to all of our Patreons. Being on this side of it, I'm realizing how much goes into having to record and pay for that and equipment and stuff like that. So we thank you for all of your support. It's not going to buy us any fancy cars or anything like that.
What?
Don't worry about that. I know. I was a little disappointed when you told me that we have fees and stuff.
Bills to pay?
I guess so. Did not know that until it was too late to say no. But anyway, thank you, Patreons, for all your support. I appreciate it. Doug appreciates it. And please come join us if you want to hear some of our fun after shows.
That's right. Fun after shows where we unwind on air and record it and don't edit it.
Yeah. Unfiltered
shows. All right. Another great way to support the show is by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review and we will read it on air and love you forever. All right. This week's 5-star review is titled From a Mom of Many Littles. Thank you. 5 stars by Ohio Nurse Mama. It actually says OH Nurse Mama, but I'm assuming it's Ohio. I'm making the assumption.
Yep.
I think I'm safe. All right. I've been listening to this show for about 1.5 years, and this is hands down my favorite Disney podcast. I am a mom of 3, soon to be 4 kids, so I appreciate the tips and tricks from Doug and Derek. I'll miss you. I'm looking forward to hearing Disney planning parenting tips from another mom of 4. Welcome, Lauren. Thanks for going on walks, runs, drives with me. I appreciate all of your work and tips. Only 16 more months till my next trip, but who's counting? There you go.
Oh, that is so tough when you're pregnant and you're like counting down to the next trip.
So you're counting down to the pregnancy and then counting down to the trip. So yeah, it's funny. There was a stretch where people like, I'm surprised you didn't go more often when the kids were little. And it's like, well, we're always pregnant. So it's like pregnant in Disney World does not mix better. It can be done. Or
I've done it.
Not mix well. It can be done, but I can't imagine it's as much fun as it
No,
could
I was
be.
definitely more excited for like the next trip when that baby would not be in me. That would be better.
The stroller is much better, much more comfortable. So,
Yeah,
all
and you
right.
can do all the rides.
Yes. And there's rider swap. So, all right.
Yes.
Speaking of rides, we're going to get to today's game about attractions in the Magic Kingdom. I will give you a list of Magic Kingdom attractions. Then you have to pick one that you would definitely do and one you definitely wouldn't pick out of that list. So you have to pick one you will, one you won't. It could be a list of 3, it could be a list of 4. We're calling this If I Have to Pick. And we'll go over why. And with this first group, Lauren's going to go first, then I'll go, and then I'll go first with the next group, and then Lauren will go. We'll take turns to make it fair. We flipped a coin beforehand. No, we didn't. We could have. We should have flipped a coin, but it's too late for that. All right, here is your first set of attractions, Lauren. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm ready.
Okay. Country Bears. See, I'm going right in here. Philhar Magic, Enchanted Tales with Belle, or Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Which one are you nixing? Which one are you definitely doing out of that list in your day at the Magic Kingdom?
So I actually think this might have been the one I had the hardest time with. So for sure, I am going to go see Philhar Magic. We actually do that most trips. There's never a line. It's well done. The new scenes are fun. I guess they're not so new anymore. Um,
No. It's Coco, right? That's the newest. See, it's a lot
yes.
newer than the movie, but Coco is the new
Yeah.
edition. Yeah.
Yeah, but the kids all still like it, and it gets us like we've used it in rainstorms or to get out of
Mm-hmm.
the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's just never a line, and everyone just enjoys it. It's a good rest time. So for us, that's like I'd say almost every trip we're doing that. I had a harder time with the don't do.
Oh, because you love
Um,
them all or you hate them all.
no, no, no. I like them all about the same, except Philhar Magic is probably my fave out of these.
Okay.
Um, but I have not seen the new Country Bears.
It's
I
good.
know. I know. So I kind of do actually want to do that just because I want to see the new one. I
So
don't
you're
know
not
how I'll
putting
feel
that on
after
the.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind
Okay.
of in the in between. And then I was in between Enchanted Tales with Belle and Monsters Inc. I ended up, and I felt bad saying this. I said I would not do Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Wow. How
I
many
know
daughters do you have?
that's the point.
Jeez,
We've
Lauren.
done it enough. um, we haven't done it in a long time. I don't think we've done it since COVID. It's
Wow.
it's
It
I
was closed
know.
for a long time, though. It
It
was it was closed
was.
a really long time.
It was. I like it. I the special effect at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it tends to get a little bit long for me, and I also have like shy kids that didn't really want to
Oh,
participate.
that's the
So
worst.
it's not
You
as
like you're
cute.
you're like shoving them, trying to like volunteer, and then by the time they do volunteer, they're a spoon, right?
Yes, I would say
Yeah,
that's I'm pretty sure that's what Gracie, like, was. Like, she was like, "No, no, no." We're like, "Go." And then finally she was like, "Fine, I'll be the spoon."
right.
So that was that. And then Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is just for me. I don't mind it. I don't try to it's not like a must do for me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
where are you at with things?
So you're Nick's keeping Philhar Magic. It's
Yeah,
your must do out of that, and the Enchanted Tales with Belle is the
don't
eh.
do.
Okay. So we're gonna agree on the bottom end of that.
Okay.
The because honestly, I haven't done Enchanted Tales with Belle in forever. Because partly our kids were those whiny ones, like I don't want to volunteer, which is really
Right.
annoying after you waited. And like when they're in the first room, they're like, I want to be Belle. I want to be the Beast. I'm like, well, Belle is actually there, so you can't be Belle. It's like, and then it happens, and they like stand there as if they've never spoken to people before, and it
Mhm.
angered me as a parent. And it's really weird now considering my kids are literally performers. Like they do competitive speech and act. And it's
Oh, that is funny.
like
And then they had like
what was
stage
that all
fright.
about? What
Yeah.
was why did you introvert for these 5 minutes where you needed to extrovert? Anywho, I was a toss up though. Enchanted Tiki Room Oh, that's not on here. I should have put
Oh,
well, oh my gosh, I saw Enchanted Tale of the Bell, and I was thinking Enchanted Tea. My bad. That would be a toss-up for me, but it's not on this list, right? It's
right.
later in the show. Um, Philhar Magic is just eh. Uh, so I really like the new Country Bears, and I really like Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor because it's different every time, slightly. Same gags, same gimmicks, but slightly different. So I'm gonna go with Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is my to do because
Hmm.
I like the comedy, I like the humor, I like that it can change. And I've never been that guy. And if there's somebody that should be that guy, it's me. I am that guy.
100%. You are.
Thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment, but you know,
I'm not
is
sure
it?
either.
Is it? Listeners,
I
let
don't
us
know.
know. Is being that guy a compliment? I don't know if it is. I mean, I'm a lot like Waldorf over at the Muppets, so um, I think it's a similar gig,
They're
right?
kind of looking for like the grumpier old man of the
Yeah, I'm not
audience.
old, but I am in spirit.
You are grumpy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor because I like the variety in it. So we have some great family memories that we still joke about every now and then. Like Michelle's been called on multiple times, and she just like melts into the chair when that happens. You know Michelle good enough, Lauren,
She
to
would hate
understand.
that.
Oh, desperately hates it, but we like the show enough that she's willing to go with her children. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah,
That's
we go
so
even
we
after she's been picked on.
that's what I was gonna ask because that is we have Annie, my 10-year-old, is like horrified that she might get called on. So she gets so uncomfortable when we walk in there and she's like, they're gonna call me, they're gonna call me, and she like slinks down into her chair.
Mm.
So she's just it's not then it ruins the experience, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, please don't call on her. But they're good about that. Like
I think
they're
they
not gonna pick a
know
kid like that.
they want a kid that's gonna participate just as much as the kid that wants to participate, right? It works both
Right.
ways. The people picking the kids know who not to pick, right? They can see the body language she's putting out there, and they're not gonna
Yes.
pick on that.
Yeah.
I think they also don't wanna pick the kid that's on the seat jumping up and down because then that rewards that behavior, right? So, it's a fine line, but they do a good job picking,
It
and
is
of
funny
course
though.
when they pick the Boo, like, Boo doesn't have to do anything except sit there and look cute. So Annie could be
That's true.
Boo. I think that time's past her, but,
Yeah,
she
she might
missed
be
her
too old for
chance.
that.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, otherwise that's a good one.
Okay, so that's where I'm going. I love the new Country Bears, though. I can't say that enough.
Well, I need to try to go over spring break when we're there.
Okay,
I
if
will
you
put that on
don't
the
get there
list.
on spring break, then we're having a Country Bears
Meetup.
something on, well, I don't know. Maybe not a meetup. I don't know. We have to get to Magic Kingdom. Well, you're only there Saturday, really, and Sunday, so
I
it's gonna be
know.
tight.
Work
We gotta
kills
get to
me.
Magic Kingdom just to get a picture with a castle, though. We got all these pictures
Oh
we have to
yeah.
get taken. Yeah,
We have a
where the
list.
the PhotoPass photographer will think we're a couple as your husband's standing there.
That will be weird.
It will be great, just great. It's gonna be a thing. All right.
More
Michelle's
awkward
already
pictures.
laughing about it. She wishes she could be there just for that. Okay. Do you
All
wanna
right.
ask the next one?
Yes. Yes. So we
This
have
is
three
hard.
for this one. This one was harder. So options are pirates, haunted mansion, or jungle cruise. Which one do you have to do, and which one would you definitely not do?
Okay, my have to do is simple because I say it's one of my favorite rides, and that's Jungle Cruise. If I didn't pick that, I would hope the listeners would call me out, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
figured you'd pick that one.
right? I can't change course there. Ship has sailed, as they
Yeah,
say. Ha ha ha. Ha. Okay,
that's
it's
funny.
it's a it's a boat. All right. So then the other two. Here's where my mind goes. One, I could get wet, right?
Hmm.
Depending on my mood, that could be good, that could be bad. So at New Year's, it was cold out and I got wet. No bueno. So I wasn't a fan of that. Haunted Mansion, um, it, I don't know. I don't like the bottleneck when I'm with my
Yeah.
kids. It's not as bad now because my kids are bigger and they're just like let the families go ahead of them, and like we could be lined up in front of the door, and then there's times like, guys, how are we like last again? Like, They're just like, I don't know, Midwest nice, I guess. They're
But
just
sometimes
letting
if you're last, like the next room comes right out and
comes on
shoves
top
right
of
on
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you're like sandwiched.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with pirates just simply because I don't like the uncomfortableness of keeping the group together in a bottleneck. You know who is the
Oh,
hardest person to be with in Haunted Mansion for that bottleneck?
I can guess.
Alex Sinek.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He'll just leave you behind. Alex, I
He
hope
will.
you hear
And
this.
then
And
he
then he'll look
strikes at
at you like,
you
"What are you
like
doing?
yes,
What are you
he
doing back
does.
there?" I'm like, I didn't want to trample the 5-year-old. That Alex. I
He does.
just
He gives you that look of like, "Why are you all the way
like
back there?"
like disappointment and regret. Like, why am I with these people? That's how I feel when Alex looks back at me in Haunted Mansion. And especially when it's predetermined I'm riding with him, so I got to fight my way to keep with him. So,
I
I'm going to
think
go
you have ended
pirates just
up
for that
I think you've ended up
anxiety,
writing that with me because you couldn't catch up to him,
probably.
and he gave up on you.
And Michelle gave up on me as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Mhm.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I'm picking pirates just because of my anxiety.
Yeah.
That's yeah, say that as a grown adult. I'm not afraid of it. I'll own it. All right,
All
Lauren, what
right.
are you doing?
So my don't do is Jungle Cruise. I'm afraid you're gonna spit out all
What?
that water you
I
just
just
drank.
took a drink. That was close. I okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry,
I'm
friend.
I'm just gonna tell the jokes whether you want to hear them or not. Then
Um, I this is not no one in my family's big on this. I will do it on the adult trips to appease you. I don't know. It's
mm-hmm.
the jokes I've heard them. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for
Every
me.
time's different. Every
That
time's
much.
different.
It's not that
Oh,
much
they are.
different.
The
So I
style of delivery alone is different.
That's true. But yeah, the only time I like feel like I really have to go on that is when it's the Jingle Cruise at Christmas time. I
Yeah,
enjoy the
it's
Christmas
a good one.
jokes. So sorry, that's my don't do. My do is Haunted Mansion.
Okay,
Apparently I'm not afraid of the bottleneck.
evidently not.
I can handle that. I was torn between this and Pirates, but we had some bad luck with Pirates. I don't know, like it's probably been 2 years now, but we went on it in one trip twice, and both times we got stuck on it and it didn't move for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Ugh,
And so now the kids are like, and they used to love that ride, and now they're
they're
like,
like
we're gonna
traumatized.
get stuck. I don't want to go on it. So
Mm,
which is sad because it's a very good ride, and we've ridden it I don't know how many times before then and never got stuck like that. We just had bad luck those 2 times, but yeah, we're a little traumatized by that.
yeah. I will say if it's raining, I will always pick Pirates over Haunted Mansion because you're
Yeah.
inside the queue, right? I mean,
Yes.
it can spill out, but Haunted Mansion, you can get wet outside. So if rain is a factor, because you mentioned that with Philhar Magic, just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, yes, we have definitely run into pirates when it's about to
Mm-hmm.
storm.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
a good one. I think that's a whole separate list. We should do a whole show of rides when it's raining.
There's a lot
Put
of
a,
them.
I should start making a list of things to do. Rides when it's raining. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, do you have a favorite effect or area of Haunted Mansion to expand a little on what Haunted Mansion holds for them?
Um, I always like the one where they're dancing, like the ghosts are dancing is
Yeah.
probably my fave, even though it's an old effect at this point. It's still really, it's really cool. It's done really well. And like that odd, I remember being like 5 and like that in awe of that. I thought that was
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Like
Yeah. So
Pepper's
that's,
Ghost.
yeah, every time we're in that scene, I'm still like leaning over and looking around and there's just so much detail in that scene. So that's
And
probably my favorite.
you can see the Hamilton duel on the wall in the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch that till I was older, but yeah, there's that too.
I remember that was like one of those little facts my dad told me when I was like in elementary school. And of course I was like, who's Hamilton? Right. And then I had
Right?
to learn who Hamilton was. And then the next time we rode, like, oh, and then decades later, who knew it was going to be the musical to end all
Oh,
musicals, right?
yeah, I was afraid you were gonna say I had to learn Hamilton when the music. music belt
No,
came
no,
out.
I learned it because I'm a Disney nerd, and my dad evidently was also a nerd.
Mhm.
So, we were
Yeah, that is
talking
cool.
earlier today about how my kids were talking to my mother, and they talked about how my dad used to always go skiing every winter, and they used to go to Disney World, and so they went to Disney World like the year it opened, and they went every other year until like kids were born. They went more without children than with.
Oh,
Yeah. We
did they
went
like
like
it
every
better?
I don't know. Well, it was only one park. We went like
Oh, that's
every
true.
3 years when I was growing up. Every 2 to 3 years, depending.
Oh, so you went more often than we did.
Yeah, we went often, but they went like every year. When they would go down for like the Orange Bowl to watch the Huskers beat somebody in the Orange Bowl, and then they go to Disney World for a couple days.
Oh.
That's what they do.
Did
They
did
Yeah.
they stay on property back then?
No, my dad had a great uncle that lived in Orlando, so they would kind
Oh.
of stop in Orlando on their way to Miami or vice versa, and
Yeah.
go to
It's
Disney
just like when
World.
you talk to people back then that went a lot, it was like not a ton of people stayed on property. Because we
Well,
didn't until like they started doing
they
more
didn't
hotels.
they didn't even build Caribbean Beach until late 80s, right?
Right.
So, we're talking the 70s during this stretch.
Right.
So,
So there's only a few options
yeah, they,
and
started
they were
going in
expensive.
71, and then my sister was born in 76. So that stretch, there was just Polynesian and contemporary and only one park. So you didn't really need to stay on property,
That's
right?
true too. Yeah.
If you're only going one day. Wow,
Yeah.
that was a
We
tangent.
digressed. Yeah.
What were we even talking about? Oh my gosh,
Attractions.
were we?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Whose
Carrying
turn
on.
is it? I forget whose turn it
I
is.
think you asked that one and I went first.
So you need to ask this one.
Yes, we're on number 3 here. Okay. We're gonna do some dark rides here. I guess we just did, didn't we? We did big dark rides. Now we're doing little dark rides. All right. Little Mermaid, which has a longer name that I'm not gonna bother with. Small World. It's a small world. There's its longer. And Peter Pan's Flight. So the Adventures or the Tales of Little Mermaid. I don't know the name. It's got one.
I'm
Small
blanking on it
World,
now too. I used to know
Peter
it.
Pan's Flight. I know
It's
it's named
Voyage,
different.
right?
Yeah,
No,
that might be the musical over at
that might
Hollywood
be the
Studios.
musical. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the musical. So which one is it, Lauren?
Um. Well, it's Peter Pan. Although I'm focused right now
To
on how
to
you
not
spelled
do?
Peter.
I did not spell that correctly. So, little known fact, if anybody's ever been a guest, you get an outline from me that is mostly spelled incorrectly.
Yes,
You're
Peter
welcome.
Pan.
It works. You knew what I meant.
I did. That is just my favorite classic ride. So
Okay.
that is
So
always my
that's the
go-to.
keeper.
Always. Yep. Yep. Again, I just remember being a kid doing that ride and thinking that was so cool that you like flew over the town.
Mhm.
And so that just stuck with me. So that's my fave. Um, I was stuck a little bit between the other two because we'll actually do Small World and Little Mermaid pretty frequently. Um, but I leaned towards not doing Small World, which I felt kind of bad about.
You should.
But it's long, and
It
then
is.
the song gets stuck in your head.
Mhm. For
And so
days.
I went Little Mermaid. It's just quicker. I don't know.
Wait,
Judge me.
so you went Little Mermaid not to X.
Right. I
You're
just she made the cut barely. But yeah, so
okay.
cut in Small World.
Cut in Small World. Oh, that hurts just to
I
hear
know.
out
If it
loud.
was like Disneyland's version, I know you don't want me to
Yeah.
talk about that park, but
But they
I would
love
have
them
chose
some
differently.
Disneyland.
I would have chose differently with
The
I like finding the little
you know
characters.
on the news this week I talked about how Disneyland gets everything. So it's
Oh, I
true.
didn't was it about Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do get everything.
They get everything. So yeah, okay. I can support that answer. You supported your thesis or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can guess what you will keep. Do you want me
Oh,
to
okay.
guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
I'm guessing you keep Small World.
Yes. I think it's a
Yes,
must do every trip. It makes the trip. I'm
I've
weird.
heard.
I am weird
Well, you
like that.
have a nostalgia for it like I do Peter Pan.
I like it. Peter Pan I like. So we did it on this last trip. I think I forced the issue to go on Peter Pan. The kids were like, "Why?" And it was New Year's, so it required us to get a lightning lane. It was work,
Yeah.
right? Um, and they're kind of like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, there's a new scene. They switched out a scene." And I'm like, "Watch for the new scene." So we get off. I don't tell them which scene is totally changed. We get off. I'm like, "So guys, which scene was totally changed?" They're like, "Dad, that was the exact same ride that it's been for the
Oh,
last, 19 years, 17 years, 15 years of my life." They didn't even notice the
no.
change. So the people that are losing their minds over the change should just, reassess life a little bit. But I'm also kind of sad they didn't notice. That tells me how much they've paid attention to Peter Pan as a whole,
Right.
right? Because it's the Native American scene. They
Right.
changed skin tone again to make it less like the cartoon, and they changed the outfits to make them more authentic. Um, so they're wearing more of what they would have been wearing in the time of pirates existing.
All
So
right. Well, now I have to take because I don't think my kids have seen that. So when we go for spring break, I will.
see if they even
If
notice.
I'll try a
The odds are,
test.
unless they've watched the movie lately, I don't know that they
No.
will, right? So there you go, grown adults that are crying foul. It doesn't matter to to you. Like the change is not that big a deal because it didn't matter to you. If that was the representation of you in your culture, I think it's a huge deal. So kudos to
Yeah.
Disney for doing it, right? Because it in the end, my kids didn't like they thought it looked fine, right? So, anyway,
Right.
there's the Peter Pan story. They didn't notice. Um, but I'm definitely going Small World. And then I'm gonna get rid of Little Mermaid
I thought you
because
might.
like I like to get a fast pass for Little Mermaid just to save about 15,000 steps. I This is the longest queue
It is.
ever.
It is really long.
Uh, One time we got in it and like we walk a little bit and we're like, "Oh my gosh, we just stopped. We're in line. Like we're behind people." And it was like,
Yeah.
"This is gonna take forever." Like I never trust the sign out front and you can't see the people in it to gauge it. And I'm like, "Oh no. What have we
Did you
done?"
did you turn around? Because we've done that. We've done
We've
that
done
where
that.
we
Yeah,
walked it.
we totally turned around. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not
If
waiting
you're seeing
for
people coming out of that queue, there's a problem.
if you don't get inside, I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn around.
I think we had just gotten inside when it stopped, and, there's so much more left of that queue
And
that I was like, "Oh, no."
with the exception of Christmas, 4th of July, and we just are like,
Right.
"It's 2 o'clock. What line should we stand in?"
Right.
Right? There's a time and a place where you're like, "We're gonna stand in a line. Which line should it be?" Hey, this one has shade. So, although does
Yeah.
it outside? I don't even know. It's a quick walk.
You're not outside that long, even on the
No.
we
No.
the
It gets in the caves. You're
right,
good.
once you're in there,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Love it. The music, tap your toes the whole way through, right? But
Mhm.
and I love how it just the story is so I have had to edit like Moana down to 15 minutes for retelling for speech, right? And I've done this with some other things where I've cut scripts. And telling the plot fully and thoroughly is one of the hardest things to do. And I can honestly tell you an Imagineer cut that down, had a plan, and then someone went, "We don't have the budget for one more room. We're going to cut one room." And they just cut the room without readjusting the plot because it kind of goes from kiss the girl to over.
It does. Yeah, I was trying to
Yeah.
think of what part you're
There's
talking about. That
totally
part
a scene missing or something. It's a
well,
like
it
the chef scene would be good to have in there too
yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be
because
good.
yeah, a little le poisson
Yeah.
would be good, but I digress.
Yeah.
But I love
It's
me
a
some
good
Small
dark
World.
ride.
It is.
Yeah,
All 3 of those are good. That's why
they
it's
are
hard.
good.
That's why it was a hard one, but if I had to pass, that'd be it. If I had to make sure I got on one, it'd be Small World, and then the one that's left in the middle is like, it might happen, it might not on my day. I don't know. It's just in the middle, so that's where
Yeah,
Peter Pan lands for me.
that's
Alright,
fair.
it's your turn, Lauren.
Okay, so for the next one, we have 3 rides. We have Barnstormer, the Speedway, and Buzz Lightyear. So which one are you keeping?
Okay. This is this one is hard if I'm thinking about what age my children are. If they're the current age that they are, I'm gonna keep Buzz Lightyear. Because that one has aged up even to a 19 years old from 3-year old. It's it ages up with you. Um, Speedway has a time where that would have been number one when they're like 5, 7, 8, 9, that age range. They love it. But
Hmm.
my kids aren't that anymore. But if I have to get rid of one, it's Barnstormer because it embarrasses me that it can make me nauseous when it's really hot out. So I'm cutting it.
It's like not even a minute long, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
Right, so I can do it, but I don't like it. So I'm cutting Barnstormer.
Wow.
But I have
Just
some
cutting
great
it.
great videos of like Claire screamed the whole first time she went on it. I can't handle this the whole time. Still through the whole thing. She's I can't handle it. I can't handle it. And then can we go again? Right? Like
Oh, she
and then
did?
s- and then screamed the same thing the second time. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
that's hilarious.
And she had been on Thunder Mountain already. That's the funnier part. She was 3 years old. She'd been
And
on
she did
Thunder Mountain.
and Thunder Mountain was fine, and
Fine.
she could
Totally
handle
fine.
that.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think it's because Barnstormer goes up in the air, like, and you're just up in the air, where Thunder Mountain, you're on a mountain. Like, there's ground
yeah.
around you. I think that's the difference for a 3-year-old brain.
Well, plus
I don't
Barnstormer's
know.
just, like, rickety,
Well,
even more so than Thunder. You don't
reminds me of
think?
a carnival ride. Like, is it gonna
It's
fall apart? Is
rickety.
it gonna pass
Yeah.
code? I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it should be closed for refurbishment more often, but it never is. It's a mystery.
It really is not.
It's never closed. Kind of concerning, Disney. So there's mine. I'm gonna definitely get rid of the Barnstormer, and I love me some Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin where I can be a galactic hero. Because I mean, what are you doing with your life if you're not a galactic hero?
Well, I have not gotten Galactic Hero, and you
Hmm.
got really annoyed teaching me.
I tried. I
I
tried.
I must not be a good student.
I'll teach
Um,
Jake. At least maybe Jake will be a good student.
I do think he does better than me, but I don't think he's
Yeah.
gotten it either. So we'll see. But I kept Buzz Lightyear as my must do also out of these three.
Wow.
Because I
Okay.
know I've given it some love here. Uh, these are three that if I don't get to, I'm okay with
The
that.
day's all right, right?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
mm,
fine. Because Barnstormer's fine, but it's just too rickety. Like I'll do it, but I agree with you. I don't get sick, but I feel like I need to go see the chiropractor. But I actually made Speedway my don't do because I can't handle like the fumes and the smell. It's just all too
mm,
much.
it
And
is.
it's loud. And if it's hot, it's really hot because there's no shade.
Yes. Oh, it's horrible. It's a
So
early morning thing. If we do it, it's like third attraction of the day type of
yeah,
thing.
my kids don't even really ask to do. I do think there's like a window when they're little and they like to do it because they feel like they're driving a car.
Yep.
I would
Once they
love
can drive, it's all over.
Yeah, I would love to see them redo this and make it like electric or something, and then
Right?
maybe we'd be
Just
more likely.
no brainer.
But
Get
they
it
agree,
done.
they don't like the noise, they don't like the smell. It's yeah. So that's a I don't even remember the last time we did that. It's been a long
Solid.
time. Yeah.
Solid reasoning. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. This next one's tough. We got to pick one to do. All right. We're
Oh, I
moving
did
on,
not
though.
have a problem with that. With
Oh, you have a favorite out of
I
this. Okay.
do.
Now I'm intrigued. All right. The Enchanted Tiki Room, the Tiki Birds, right? The
Yeah.
Carousel of Progress, Hall of Presidents, which reminder is under refurbishment till probably August or September. All right.
Yeah.
Which one are you picking to keep?
Okay. So I have a
Um,
favorite, and it's Carousel Progress.
okay.
Um, I don't know why. Again, this is nostalgia again. I do actually remember doing this when I was little, and I thought that was crazy that the audience moved,
Yeah.
and then you'd go and it'd be like the next era. I don't think I had a clue of what they were talking about when was that old. I just thought that was neat.
They were talking about the rat race. Henry. Yeah.
But no, I still enjoy it. The kids will actually let me do this. They don't give me too much of a hard time when I ask to do it. It is one of those that if we want to get out of the heat or the rain, that's
Mhm.
usually when we use it. I don't think it's like there's usually a situation like that where we need a break and they're happy to sit down for a while and we do that one. Um, I'm skipping Hall of Presidents. I haven't been on that and I don't remember how long. It's really long. I took Luke when I think we had pulled him out of school for a trip and I was like, "Here is your education."
There you go.
And he asked me to leave so many times. He was like, "This is really boring."
When
So,
Yeah, they redid it big in 2016, and it got a lot better, but
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, this was post then. This was probably like right before COVID. I took him. That's probably the last time we've done it. And it's long. I mean, I like that they have it. It's educational. I get its purpose, but I have a hard time like allowing that much time in there
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
S other There's other things to be done, like, even if it's a Dole Whip, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to sit through
Okay.
that. So, and then
I can see that.
we actually do have some love for the tiki birds because you can bring your Dole Whip in there.
It's the one attraction at Disney World where they let you eat.
Yes. And actually, when my kids were real little and we were getting ready for a trip, we used to listen to like a Disneyland playlist and they had that song. And then it worked great for Haunted Mansion too. So the kids, when they were real little, really loved these songs. So they still to this day loved going to Tiki Birds. But when they were at the age that they should have been scared of Haunted Mansion, they were not because they liked the
Mm,
song and they thought that was cool. So that worked
there
out
you
well
go.
in our favor. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So which one are you keeping?
I'm keeping Carousel of Progress
Oh,
mainly for the
for a
song.
nap. Oh, I thought you were gonna
No,
say nap.
I don't usually nap in that Hall of Presidents. The last time I went on my own because Michelle and the kids were in line for Space Mountain or something, and I had time. And I went on my own. I was out. A dude woke me up when it was over.
No
That was
way.
sitting in my row. Like gave me a little nudge, like, dude, it's over. And I had like my hat over my face, like leaned back. I just solid 20-minute nap. So
Was it your rope drop hat? Do I need to be embarrassed?
yeah, you should be. You're associated with
Great.
that now. So there's somebody out there that probably left a review somewhere like this dude sleeps through the presidents.
Oh dear.
Um, yeah, in Biden era. So Biden was the animatronic at the time. Um, so I love me some Carousel of Progress. It's where I learned all about American history, and I will stick to that. That and American Adventure at Epcot. I didn't need history class in college. Um, and then yeah, I'm gonna. So even though Hall of Presidents puts me to sleep, the Tiki Room, they need to upgrade the animatronics because the beaks are louder than the music,
They
or turn
are.
the music up.
Are
One of
you
the two.
cutting this?
I'm cutting it.
Oh,
Skipping I can eat my Dole Whip outside just fine. Um, so the the noise of the animatronics should not be louder than the music, and it bugs me. It's 2025, and if you really want to leave it around to pay homage to Walt, do the right thing and fix it up. There, I said my
yeah, I can't
piece.
argue that. I actually agree with you on that part. I would not
Yeah.
cut it, but
Well, it's just cut for my day, so
but I agree. I would like to see those updated. That is true. That does annoy me for
yeah,
that. But the
yeah,
effects are fun. It's a good song.
yeah. The songs are
Rains.
great. Henry Ball,
Gets a
yeah,
little weird
great.
at the end when everyone gets really angry singing.
You know, that's what birds do, I think. And tiki torches and flowers.
Yep.
Random. It's random. I
It
do
is very
like
random.
taking mid elementary school kids that have never been before and like, guys, this is the 60s.
Yeah, I think my kids were unusual and they only liked it because they knew the song.
Yeah.
I think if they had seen it first and not
Oof.
knew the song, I don't think that would have gone as well.
Yeah.
Because
It's very weird.
yeah, when we travel
Yeah.
with the cousins, they're kind of like, "What is this that you're making me watch?"
As they should be. As
Yeah.
they should be. All
All
right.
right.
So
We ready
is
for
it?
the last set?
Yes, it's your turn to ask, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So it looks like you went with the mountains ish.
E-tickets here.
Yeah, because Tron's not really a mountain. All
Well,
right,
and
so we
Tiana's not really a mountain either now. It's a bayou.
yeah, that's true. All right, so you're going half
Although
mountains.
it was never a mountain, it was a hill, Chickapin Hill. So let's be honest. Can't call it Splash
That's
Mountain and a hill. Which is it, Disney? Okay, I'm done.
okay. All right. Anyway, 4 attractions. We have Tron, Space Mountain, Tiana's, and Thunder Mountain. Which one are you keeping?
Oh, I have to pick the keep first.
Or do you want to start with
Well,
the there's no rules here.
there's out of the four, I only ride one. So let's be honest, it's Tiana's. Also, I love the soundtrack. So it is a super easy choice on which one I'm keeping because Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the only one I go on. And yes, I know the whole actual name of that ride, but not other rides. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I love it. I love Tiana's. I did enjoy Splash Mountain before. I would have kept Splash Mountain over the other ones, just some full disclosure. But the soundtrack to Tiana's is notch above. So now the hard part. Which one am I gonna definitely say no to? Like, if I say no to one, does that mean there's a chance I have to go on the other two,
I
Lauren?
think so, and I'm wondering which one you're going to not do since you can't do the other 3.
Um, it's a hard choice. I'm gonna go with getting rid of Space Mountain because it's longer than Tron, and the G forces are higher than Thunder. Thunder has the up and down stuff, but it has that kind of break in the middle with the second lift hill to let me like collect my thoughts. Not thoughts, definitely not thoughts, but you know what I mean. I'm collecting. Um, I think
I feel
Space
like
Mountain's the worst for me.
yeah, I was like, haven't I done Thunder with you once? Like you can handle it
It's been
a
a
little
while.
bit,
I don't
right?
know.
No?
I don't think I'm definitely not doing Tron again. I'll say that. But
Yeah.
it's so short that I can make it to the end and then just die. Where Space Mountain, the last bit of Space Mountain, I'm just like, is it over yet?
It's longer.
So I feel like I gotta do Space Mountain over Tron.
Hmm.
These are all losers. I'm just gonna say, all
What?
right, I don't like any of them. They're horrible.
Oh,
They're
I like
evil.
them
They're
all.
evil things. All right, most people love them. So how are you
Yes.
gonna pick which one to keep here, Lauren?
All right, so I actually am keeping Space Mountain.
Okay,
Yeah.
why? It's
I
old
know
and rickety.
it is a little rough, especially as you age. I don't know. It's fun. It's long. It's in the dark. It's fun when they do like the theming for the Halloween and Christmas parties. I don't know. I just because out of the 4, I feel like I can write it the most, which
Okay.
is funny, even though I feel like I need a chiropractor after. So Tiana's, for some reason, I have a hard time with the drop. I
I
enjoy it.
remember that.
You see, I do not like drops, especially when you're kind of leaning forward that are steep, really bug me. Um, if it
Oh,
didn't
it's
have
not even that
that, I
steep.
know I'm such a baby about it. Like, cause I ride much crazier rides than that,
So
but it
you're
just bugs me.
definitely not going to Blizzard Beach on your check-in day just to go
No,
down the big slide. That name escapes me.
no, but I know what you're talking
No.
about.
No.
Probably something plunge.
Summit Plummet.
Oh yes, no.
I'm debating just going after my flight, going there, going down Summit Plummet, then going to pick up my run packet.
So you can
But I
handle
think that
that.
it's just straight down. It's wonderful. Yeah. My favorite water slide on the cruise lines is the Aqua Dunk.
So that see, that's the stuff that bothers me.
This is why Michelle makes fun of me and says it's in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
love that.
question this now.
It's just straight thrill.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
you were
anyway.
saying
And then
don't like the drop.
yes.
Yeah.
But that's actually not my don't do. My don't do is
Oh.
Tron.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because the acceleration at the start, the G-force at the start, and I
Mm-hmm.
have this problem with Rockin' too. Um, it's a bit much for me. That's actually worse for me than Tiana's drop.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So I will do it. I can do it like I tell the kids I'll do it once during the trip. I will not do it more than that. Uh I'm pretty sure if there's like an odd number, I would happily sit it out. because it's a lot.
Okay.
I can do it. I don't love doing it. I have that problem with
Okay.
Rock and Roller Coaster because you've seen me just send Alex and Michelle to go ride that so that I
Mhm.
don't. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, there's three, so I'll just sit
Yep.
this one
Yep.
out.
You had to watch me eat a cookie instead.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, so I guess Tiana's and Thunder Mountain were my maybes.
Okay. Okay. I can respect that. Tron is
Yeah,
evil. Plus, you got to put your stuff in a locker. It's just not
which is
cool.
annoying. Which
Yeah.
we didn't talk about this. I don't think so on my Universal trip. That
We did in
locker
the after show. We got
but
there in the after shows.
for
Yeah.
Velocicoaster specifically, because
Yeah.
that was madhouse. Oof, that was
Mm,
crazy. Yeah, the
Universal
lockers
and their
drive me
lockers.
crazy. Yeah, it's I do kind of like it better when they just have you do it before you even get in line. Because like when they make you do it midline, it's like
That's weird. Yeah.
and everyone's trying to rush because you want to like see if you can get ahead of 3 or 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
intense. Yeah, elbows.
Pressure.
Yeah.
And got to
So
keep up with your party. Not going to mention
yeah.
who that party is last time I rode Tron, but it's already been mentioned once.
Yep.
So,
Do you?
ah,
I have the one I made. The group. Do you want me to do a surprise here, or
let's
do you want me to do it
let's do that
different?
on the after show. We're going to save Lauren's little grouping for the after show.
Okay.
So we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, if you're thinking about going on any of these exciting attractions that we talked about today, reach out to our friends at Touring and Cruises. At touringandcruises.com, you can request a no obligation free quote, and their services are free. Disney pays them after you travel. You don't pay them anything. So there you go. Touring and
Yeah.
Cruises, sponsor of the show. Thank you very much to them. Definitely do use our travel partners to help keep us on the air. As Lauren mentioned earlier, there's expenses.
Yeah, and this week I
Yeah.
was on the phone a lot for clients, so that is another tidbit of
Yeah.
information. You don't have to
Let
call
the,
anybody.
mm,
And
yeah.
Michelle was on the phone for a long time too this week, so that is
Yes.
probably one of the best things about a travel agent. Let them be on the phone for hours at a time.
Yes, let them do that for you. So there you go. We're going to get to the after show. We're going to do a little bit more of this and then take all the tangents as we digress. So thank you so much for listening. Follow us on social media at Rope Drop Radio on all the things. And for Lauren, I'm Doug. This has been another Rope Drop Radio.